Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Dan.
This is Board Game Rundown. Today we are going to review Thunder Road Vendetta. Now this is the Maximum Chrome edition from Restoration Games. It plays 2 to 5 players. Oh, we could have played 5 players. But we didn't have a 5th.
We didn't.
But anyways, 2 to 5 players. And it says 30 to 75 minutes. That's probably accurate.
It's pretty accurate.
This game almost ended in 30 minutes.
It did.
And then it went a little closer to 75 minutes.
Yeah.
So in this game, you're going to have 3 different vehicles if you're playing normal without the big rig or the motorcycles. So you're going to have a large, a medium, and a small. And what you're trying to do is get to the end of the race. That's not always the easiest thing. The game can end in 2 ways. One, the 5th race tile is revealed, and then we put the finish line little thing on the end of it, and that signifies the end. Or one player loses all of their vehicles, Spencer, and then that whatever that last tile in the row is, then becomes the final tile. So that does mitigate like player elimination, like oh, I'm sitting around, whatever. And yeah, so at the beginning of every round, everybody's going to roll their dice. You've got 4 die of your color. And then on your turn, you're going to assign one to one of your cars that you're going to activate. And then you can choose to assign one to your command board, which can give you like a unique action like drifting or nitro boost, repairing, or airstrikes. Or if you're playing with the asymmetric player powers, maybe you set yourself on fire.
On purpose?
On purpose.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of things that go into this game. There are going to be hazards that you're going to encounter. You're able to shoot people that are in your firing arc in front of you. Movement is very straightforward. Literally, it is basically your firing arc. But where this game really gets crazy is when you start slamming into people. If you slam into somebody, you take that car that is moving and you place it on top of the other vehicle. Yeah. And then there's a slam die and then like a random movement die. Mm-hmm. And so the slam die is basically going to indicate whether the top vehicle or the bottom vehicle moves. And then this movement die has got all these pips and it's basically 1 space around each one. And so you roll that and then you see where that goes. So the bottom car would move back a space. Boop. Not too bad. Mm-hmm. If one car is larger than the other one, the person with the larger vehicle can force for one reroll. You have to accept the results of the reroll, which also makes for crazy fun because you can slam people into hazards. If you slam people into a wall, they are destroyed.
Slam into other people.
Slam them into other
chain
people.
Slam.
Yeah. Well, we'd had a major chain reaction.
First move.
Slam right off the bat.
We're all starting right at the beginning, piled up. That was crazy.
It got nuts. But yes, so there's all kinds of different things. We're not going to go into like the minutia of everything. Sure. But I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Once you explain the rules of the game, it's pretty much like you assign your die. And you're going to figure out, and you move. A lot of things will stop your movement, or maybe there's like, oh, this costs 2 movement spaces. Sure. There's also a road die, which also works as the first player token. Mm-hmm. So the first player would roll this road die. So if you do your whole move, starting and ending on pavement, you can opt to use the road die number and move that extra move, right? But so
has to stay on the road.
Not when you do the road die.
Right.
After your move.
Yes.
Yeah. Your base move has to all be on the road to be able to use the road die. Then you can use that extra movement to go off the road if you want. 2 things. If you assign a die to your vehicle, that's how many spaces it's going to move. And it has to move that many spaces.
Unless stopped for some other reason.
Unless you slam into something or whatever. But normally, it's going to move that many spaces. If you opt to use the additional movement from the road die, bless you, you must use all of the movement.
Yep.
Until you get stopped. But this game has ramps. It has mines. It has sandworms. It has pit traps.
We had a ramp here, and there were like 4 cars all lined up from the ramp. So when you hit that ramp, you're landing on somebody.
We took a picture. We'll try to have it to the editor in time to have it overlay here because it was just hilarious.
Funny. Yeah.
And another very important thing, because this affects the game, is when somebody moves off the end of the last tile, the 3rd tile in the row.
If the finish line's not out yet.
If the finish line's not out yet, that bottom tile falls off. And then you're going to add a new tile. Everything slides down, and anything on this tile is out of the game.
Yep,
gone, girl. Out of here.
That's how I almost killed myself.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you were saying I killed you, but I killed exactly as many of your cards as you killed of your cards. So,
No,
I think
sandworm.
I think you also killed the exact number of your cars as you did. Dan kept blowing himself up.
yeah.
But anyways, so this game, if it sounds really chaotic and crazy, it 100% is.
Oh yeah.
Let's, I guess, just give
Our thoughts on
our
it?
thoughts on the game. Spencer, why don't you go first?
I had a ton of fun, even though I was the first one to blow up. I was winning, and that makes you target. So
Obviously.
yeah, that's the game. And it came down to a re-roll to knock me into
A chopper.
And that's me right there.
That charred husk.
And I
This
still
is
had a
Spencer.
ton of
The
fun.
artist formerly known as
The powers here, I can't imagine not playing with these asymmetric powers. They're
Oh,
just
they're so cool.
awesome.
Yep.
This one lets me ignore the fire die blow up. So when you're on fire, you either go out, you get extra movement, or your vehicle just blows up
Hey,
and they're out.
Everybody knows flames make you go faster.
Everybody
Oh,
knows that.
for me, absolutely. And so one of my other powers is just to make myself go on fire. Of course, I didn't have to because I kept running through
Plenty
fire.
of fire on the board.
Plenty of
Plenty of
fire on
fire.
the board. So much fire.
The pieces, I like them. I mean, did it come like this? Or did
Washed.
you wash
They
it?
I
came
didn't-
pre-washed.
Came
The
washed.
Maximum Chrome version came.
Even
That's
some of the
a
base
Maximum
minis out there
Chrome.
come pre-washed.
Oh, okay.
It's just that
Awesome.
Maximum Chrome has a lot of the expansions in the box.
Maximum
altogether.
Chrome has all the expansions in the box. So we were basically playing the game with all the expansions. We didn't use every.
We
We
didn't
didn't use
use the
them.
motorcycles
But-
and we didn't use the big rig.
Yeah, and we
But they're
didn't
all in
use
there,
the
and they're all-
German engineering cards.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, it's all here.
Yep.
It's all here.
All available.
We played with most of the expansions.
There you go.
And
And there's also additional like map tiles.
Map-
Oh
because
yeah, I mean,
there's
it looks
terrain
like,
that is
the other
introduced.
side is totally different.
Oh sure, you can use whatever one you want.
And then there's just so much replayability. I mean, not only do you
So
have
much.
all of these things that are randomized, but when you take damage, you have a bunch of different chits to choose from for your damage. And they could be, you get a dent, it doesn't do anything. It could be an ongoing effect where you draw a card and that
right.
thing happens to you. So there's just so much replayability for that. It was relatively quick. I mean, we almost did end that in half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we got to the point where most of us, everyone was down to one card or less.
Yeah.
Or less.
And we won. I mean, that you can't get closer. So,
Yeah.
no, I really liked it. I had a great time.
Daniel.
It was really fun. I do feel that, like, once we got past that first 30, 40 minutes, I did feel it was starting to drag towards the end because this game is just dumb fun. I mean, basically, we're playing with Hot Wheels. We're like kids again playing with Hot Wheels. And once you start doing that for like an hour and a half and stuff, I'm just like, okay, this is fun, but like, let's start getting towards the end of the game here. So like, I do think that I hope it continually plays in the shorter part of the time frame because that's all you're doing is you're in for the chaos, and chaos is very fun. I just don't think it's fun for like 3 hours, right? I say this a lot for
Oh,
push
yeah.
your luck games. I like push your luck games when they're 30 minutes. I don't like push your luck games when they're an hour and a half and it's a full game and it's just like, well, congratulations, you won because you pulled the right card, like after 2 hours, right? So I feel the same kind of thing in this, right? This is just a very fun, like family weight, chaotic racing game. There's a couple small things I would change just to make it slightly more interesting to me, but that's not what the game's supposed to be, right? Like, we were talking about how it's a little weird that you can just drive under helicopters. It seems like they should be a little bit more scary. Like,
Well, it is scary because if you
They blow
if
you
you
up.
end on them,
Yeah.
Or
then
get pushed into
then
one.
you insta die. Well, yeah, because your movement would end if you got pushed into it. So that's where they're scary. But like, I was initially thinking like just impassable terrain. You can't ride under them. Just makes a puzzle element like blocking roads
It
way
might be
more
too powerful,
interesting.
though.
Yes. So then maybe just something like if
You get a free shot.
free shot, or even just one automatic face down damage if you drive under a helicopter. I would just think about instituting something like that because I like the helicopters being scarier.
Sure. I think if you drive underneath the helicopter, they should get a shot at you. That's
Sure.
how I feel.
And I could also see how most games are going to have one guy trying to get ahead of everyone else and everyone else having a brawl.
Sure. My asymmetric power, just because why not to mention it, was the red hazard things, basically. I still had to interact with them normally, but every time I interacted with one, I got a free command token, which is hard to come by for most people, but I was basically just constantly getting... I probably drove through 12 hazard
You drove
things.
through so many
I was
hazards.
just my
When you
first
first did
turn
it, it was like,
hit
"Are you
3.
insane?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, I need them because that's how I get." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, you are."
I just
insane.
wanted to see if this would work, and obviously it did in the end. But it was just again kind of luck, right?
Right.
Like I never ran into one that insta killed my car. Or something,
You ran into
but
one that
I-
insta-killed
but I
Spencer.
but I definitely could have. But yeah,
Happens to all of my cars actually.
I think most of the components here are fantastic. I think the theme is hilarious. I really like the way the design goes into here. Spencer was talking about something earlier to where all the artwork on here is unique. It doesn't matter at all, but like if you look
the
at
colors.
every scratch
Yeah.
and everything on all the different tiles, they are all different. It's not just a photoshopped layer they put on everything, so that's really cool.
Tiny deets.
A slight thing for me is I wish it was easier to shoot people as well, which I guess kind of goes into my helicopter thing. I want more fighting and less bumping. The
We
game
just-
That's one of the
we
things
just
that I was
missed
going
a
to say.
lot.
Well,
We
we
missed a
didn't miss a
lot.
lot, but I was going to say, like,
right,
I
but
feel like
you
you
are
should be able to
designed to miss a lot. Is
Sure,
what I'm saying.
but you didn't even get the chance to shoot. Is what I'm saying. I think you
Oh,
should be able to shoot then move, right? You should be able to choose to either move then shoot or shoot then move. I think that makes more sense to me. But
You basically have a 4 in 6 chance to hit the biggest car, and then obviously everything else is less
Scales
than
down,
that.
yeah.
So like, really, for the most part, it was only our big cars that were getting shot, and I just wish it was slightly different. Like, obviously, more components ups pricing and ups complexity when it comes to
maybe
teaching.
just like a D8 for that instead of a D6.
Sure, a D8 could be it, but I was also just going to say have one die for each car size, and they just have different chances of hitting kind of thing. I don't know. I'm not trying to redesign this game. I just wish that the game
easier to shoot.
game was a lot of bumping and very little shooting, and I wish that swayed slightly the other way. Don't get me wrong, the bumping is hilarious. And I did it constantly, even when it was a terrible decision.
Well, and both times that I got shot successfully, I got bumped because I drew that dang
Right.
skid
Yeah.
damage token and it
Yeah, so you
slid
got
me.
a 2 for 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, like they were saying, the replayability is crazy here. I personally would say if you can't get the maximum Chrome edition, buy the expansion that gives you asymmetric powers.
Yeah.
I think that
Absolutely.
it adds so much to this game that after we finished playing and I looked at how the other tiles work and everything, I don't think I would have had nearly as much fun. I really don't. I think it is a massive bump to the fun value and the chaos value to have everyone, and they're very simple asymmetric powers, but they do come in crazy handy. All Spencer's did was he ignored the death thing on the fire die,
Yeah.
which only happened like once, but like that he rolled it and he got to ignore it.
But maybe
But-
I get to roll with impunity.
right, but he gets to, so
Yeah.
he's just driving through fire like a
Yeah.
madman. and it's-
Dan literally only lost 2 of his vehicles because of
Because
yourself.
of fire.
Because of
Yeah.
fire. Self-inflicted.
and me driving through hazards and just opening up all these hazards to people and stuff was just really funny, and me trying to bump people into hazards to reveal them and stuff was just really funny. Bob, all his damage was face down, which unfortunately this game I was able to draft a card because we also played with a drafting expansion thing. I was able to draft a card that gave me that ability, but it was only for one of my cars. He had
Right.
it for all 3. But so he never has to deal with the extra damage bonuses. And Tim's ability was he dies really fast, I think.
That
was
was,
what it
that
was.
was my
That's
what you were
that was my
doing,
special.
so-
it was super effective though.
Yeah, I was really using that ability
Yeah.
really well.
To its
No,
maximum
I actually
potential.
can't. Oh, you can re-roll a shoot die, is what it was,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, he could re-roll.
Yeah.
Which again, okay, that's nice. That is
Yeah,
that
it helped a
helps
little.
what I was
It helped
talking
a little.
about. But yeah,
Because
just
slamming doesn't do any damage on
Unless you
its
knock
own.
him into
Just unless
something.
you knock him into
Yeah,
something,
I mean, it can do a lot of damage or it does not much damage.
Right. Yeah, you can knock him into a pit.
Yep.
the only other
Yep.
thing I'll say is the insert seems fantastic.
The
I've
insert is
only-
incredible.
I've only looked through it, but it does have obviously everything vacuum formed and nicely shaped. But then also there is a plastic one that covers.
Yes,
the stuff.
this is like something
So-
that needs to start being standard. You're
Yeah.
gonna get a nice tray, get a little plastic doohickey to go on top and hold everything in
Yeah,
place.
because all the other black trays will kind of hold themselves together. You don't need a vacuum form on every one. Obviously, that's
Right.
nicer, but
Right.
it's unneeded.
On top, on top,
but
on
as
top,
long as
one
they're
over
on
the top.
with one vacuum form,
Everything
on top,
fits
yeah.
in that box perfectly.
Spencer was kind of showing one thing off that I really like too. That so he got a tile that gave him a damaged card, and when this overlays
Yeah,
under your
nice.
thing, I just think that's
Nice.
really slick
Really well
looking.
designed, yep.
Yeah, that's really nice because of how it. Sorry,
Yeah.
how it
your car
damage
upgrade fits up top too.
goes under here, yeah, and your card upgrade. Well, you guys saw this in the top down, but yeah, and your card upgrade goes here. Very nice system, all fits together
And the
really
fire
nice.
goes around it.
And I was actually confused at first about this, but then Bob said it's probably for this, and that doesn't make sense. Your car also. So first of all, they fit together, small, medium, large. So like if you put the large, small next to each other, they don't interlock. So I mean, not that that matters, but like they purposely did that so that it sets up right. And then the small and the stuff, right? So you can do this here if you're playing like
Left to right,
yeah,
right
if
to
you're
left.
on this side of the table, and you can play it here. If you're on this side of the table, so you can make it fit easier. Obviously, that doesn't matter. You can put these wherever. But it's nice that they put that thought into it. And I guess that's where I'll stop. This was a lot of fun. This is not something that is like in my top 10 games. Like, I love this kind of thing. Because again, I say this a lot. Sorry.
You don't like fun.
I tend to like really thinky games. I tend to like really like sitting there and
Figuring the
think
puzzle
about the
out.
decisions. And this one is like, again, almost every decision I made in this game was, what's the worst thing I could do?
Yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
You mean a
now?
It's
game
like dumb
called
fun.
Thunder Road Vendetta is not a thinky game?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. So it's not exactly my like cup of tea. I don't love it, but for this type of game, what a blast! The amount of times we all went, "Whoa!" when we were playing.
We were
I mean,
so
it was,
loud.
We were
playing
very
this.
ruckus.
Yeah.
So loud.
I pass. My
Bobby.
What is it?
Yeah, like I said, this game was a ruckus. Like, I mean, we were having so much fun, like constantly trying to slam into each other, knock each other into obstacles, push each other off the road, setting people on fire, ramping over people, shooting people. I mean, it was a ton of fun. Like I said, I agree with Dan. Is this the type of game I normally play? No, it's not usually the type of game I reach for, but holy cow, we have a blast playing this. And like, I love the bits. I'm a fancy bits kind of person. All these come pre-washed. They're fantastic. They're designed kind of hollow, so when you are like on top of somebody, doesn't matter how you do it.
They kind of lock.
They
in.
all kind of lock in place a little bit, so you kind of know the game state on who's bumping into whom, and who's on top and who's not. These dice are fantastic. So the painted symbols are recessed a little bit, so they're not going to rub off super easy by rolling them. They're super unique with like the fire dice, the crash dice, the lane die. The normal dice are normal dice. It's fine.
But the sweet ramp die.
Sweet ramp die. I mean, like being able to hit a ramp. I mean, that's fantastic. I kept doing the Dukes of
You know
Hazzard
what's
theme
This
song.
one.
crazy is that we were playing this game and we're cackling like idiots, and then a ramp came out, and it's like,
And we were all over the place. And everyone went.
We all wanted to hit the ramp. I was trying to ramp to
did.
the end, and the other one I didn't roll high enough
Yeah.
number.
If Bob, I think
If you
Bob
rolled a
might
1,
have
2
won.
No, he would have.
I would hit
Get
the
a landing
He would
slide.
have been
slide.
there, and you're saying that my turn was before he would have gone again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he would have been one space
It
away.
still would have been
yeah.
one space away.
Um,
Your
and-
6 roll is what won the game for you.
I want to point out,
Unless
too,
this
it's
was
not...
something useful.
Well, technically, I could have rolled a 5 or a 4 and still had it because of the extra move. But and it's not just a wash, too. Like, I mean, and you can tell by looking at it, right? But these, like, are clearly two-tone, plastic
Yeah.
painted kind of thing. And it reminds me a lot of the look of Zaya. Like
yeah.
the
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
that they have. This is not the same material and stuff.
Correct.
But,
It's not like a
if you're just
rubbery-
looking at it, it looks like the way the Zaya ships are painted. I think that's
Motorcycle
really nice.
gang, hello! You get like 5 of those instead of 3.
Yeah, I
so
don't
you're
wanna know this
zipping
big rig.
around.
It's awesome.
We get to,
Yeah,
so,
we didn't play with the big rig or the motorcycles. I cannot wait to try them out. That's
Like-
gonna be nuts.
So as much for an endorsement, I literally was just out there trying to find another copy of this. We have a bunch of like the standard editions and all the expansions and stuff like that, but like I like to have all my stuff together in one box. So I'm gonna try to find a Maximum Chrome like edition. This was a ton of fun. And, like,
Oh my gosh.
it's great. Tim will have this copy. We'll be able to play it like in this group, but I've got another group of friends with that. I think that we would just have a blast ramming each other off the road and
I
doing
mean,
all types
imagine
of fun
if you went onto this ramp and this was another ramp.
Yeah, flip
Oh
that over.
my
I want to know what it is.
Flip it. What is
The
it?
ramp
Oh, it's just road.
Just road.
Just road.
Lame.
for some reason.
Game sucks.
Terrible.
But no, like so many smart decisions, right? Like the way the player, your little board over here kind of works together. The little crash guys you had to replace yours that look like just burnt up husks. Like I said, the fancy dice. We were putting these on the board at
the
first.
raw-
We're like,
yeah.
this, like they put so much thought into this, but this is so stupid. Why would they do this? Oh no, we're idiots.
And then we looked in the rulebook.
They go,
Yeah, there's just a picture right there that
that
we've
was on
read
us.
past 3
Yeah.
times.
Well, we'll blame Tim for that.
I thought everything else right.
Yeah.
a
But
change.
other than that, though, like this was just fantastic. A lot of yelling, screaming, dumb fun, ram each other off the road, trying to get to the end. It was a great time.
I just love the fact that I was able to, have fun and everything, and I was able to win. Not that that matters, right? But I never tried.
You didn't have a
until
strategy.
the last
Yeah.
round, and then I was like, okay,
Oh,
if I
just
roll
go-
a high enough number,
just
I'll
go
win.
fast here, I win.
Well, like up
it's
until
a
then,
race?
even in the turn before the last turn when I won, I jumped on Spencer between 2 helicopters, knowing there was a 50-50 chance I was the one dying. But I was just like, how can I resist?
And if he hadn't killed me, I probably would have won.
Right.
It was-
Probably. Yeah.
Oh, I just noticed each tile has chapter names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So like I think in the
So-
book it probably tells you like which ones to use.
So you
Exactly.
always
B
there's always
sides.
one that you start with,
Yeah.
right? And you choose the A or B side of that, and then after that, you just choose what you want.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, you just draw one off the top of the
Wow,
stack.
that's cool. So I have them
and you
preset.
throw them in.
Nice.
And you line them up.
Okay. That's even better because then you can kind of even like personalize the kind of track you want to have.
Exactly.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you wanted to set it up and like stage
like
it,
long
yeah.
straightaway, then a bunch of ramps
Like,
on this one. And
I just mix them up and like random grab stuff because it's like, I just want to see what they all kind of do.
Absolutely.
And even the one I drew, I flipped it over to the other side so that I wouldn't have known
what it was.
Sure. Yeah, this is my favorite game I've played this year so far.
Oh, wow.
This game was so much fun.
It was.
This was chaos. It's idiocy. I mean, we had so many like moments where we were just yelling and screaming and cheering. And I say this having had my one car was blown up in the very first round.
Yeah.
And my second car was blown up, I think, in the second round. And I was down to one vehicle very quickly. We almost didn't get to see another tile.
He's still here though.
But I made it there. But no, this game was so much fun. No, it's not going to be for everybody, right? It's not like a thinky, I'm going to solve this, puzzle. Like, no. Like, I'm drafting. We're laughing as we're
I'm
drafting.
gonna knock you into this ramp, and you're gonna.
Yeah, you're right. We were drafting the cars. We're going.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh my gosh! I don't want to pass this.
even that part of it was so much fun and just kind of wild because it's like, and then like choosing between the characters, that we were going to play with the asymmetrical powers. This was a game reading the rule book that I was like, oh, this is going to be really wild. And the only thing that was kind of a bummer for me was the shoot die. We just missed.
We
missed a lot. I think it would have been more fun if we didn't have two players that could
ignore the damage.
Ignore the
specialty damage.
Specialty damage.
Sure.
But I don't care. It didn't ruin my experience. That may never come up, in the next 3 games. You know what I mean? That's not always going to be the case because it was a deal 2, pick one.
Right.
And so somebody's not guaranteed to take the jury rigging character, right?
The road mistress.
We had so many upgrades that didn't even get picked out of the draft. So somebody may not have that computer thing, and that only applied for one vehicle, the onboard computer.
But I obviously put it on my big boy.
But I mean, there's a dude that lets you like steal health. There's a dude that gives you like extra range. When you shoot, if another one of your operable cars is adjacent to the target, you automatically hit.
Wow.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
the
a
other
spotter.
person I almost took, and I was like, this seems like such an interesting engine to try to manage. I had to take it.
And these cards, I mean, a railgun. I put a gigantic railgun on my tiny little buggy.
Yeah.
Right.
I like the
they're
idea.
Great.
Of
The
you
art
like-
is great. Snow
Yeah,
plow.
it should move you back when you fire.
I thought so too. And a snowplow. I put a snowplow on mine so I could just like
Ignore
ram
the
through
wrecks.
everything.
Yeah.
And another thing, right, is like some of it is the abilities and things we didn't see. Like there was a thing that was like dazed.
Yeah.
So you roll the ramp
so
die.
wanna
So
see
you're
that.
moving from 1 to
Random
4
spots,
spaces.
yeah.
And then you're also rolling the movement die for each one of those.
movement.
So you might go backwards, you might go forward. You
Talk about dazed and confused.
There's
Who
going to be a
knows?
lot of bumps going on.
Who
Yeah.
knows where you're gonna go? When we started slamming into each other, like we just all started laughing,
was
and we had a chain reaction where I think 4 cars
At least.
at least went. It was like boom, boom. Okay, now you're slam. Boom. Okay, now boom, boom.
Into the hazard.
And it was the thing is the game didn't grind to a halt for me when that happened. It just was like everybody's like, oh crap,
Wait
what's
to
gonna
see
happen?
what the result
I had to
is.
go to the bathroom. I didn't want to get up because it's like I'm gonna get rammed. Like I'm gonna have to do something.
You came back and you were
Spoiler
dead.
alert! I went to the bathroom. They're like, you'll be fine.
Listen to your body, Tim.
Yeah, I went to the bathroom. I came back and my vehicle was destroyed. But I mean, just the different hazards you can draw. Yes, you are going to get screwed in this game, but everybody's getting screwed in this game. This is like Galaxy Trucker kind of.
Right.
You're just skidding across the finish line at the end. Good luck. But yeah, I just had a blast with this. This is again one of my favorite games I played this year. It's early. It's only May, but
Right.
holy crap, I had
Yeah.
a ton of fun
great.
playing this.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's give it our final ratings. Dan, set yourself on fire and tell us how this works.
Okay, well, we're gonna play.
Oh.
We're gonna rate this game from 1 to 10, and after that,
Oh, you go
okay,
out.
that's fine. And then we also use 0.5s because it's fun. Then we're gonna average all those scores together at the end for BGG and stuff like that. So the Board Game Rundown has a rating, right? So each of us have a personal rating, and then Board Game Rundown has like a company rating, I guess you could call it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, Spencer,
Yeah.
what's your number, sir?
I'm going to give it a 9.
Woo!
Good number.
Dan. 5.
Enjoyed it thoroughly. Not exactly for me. I don't want to play this like super often, right?
Sure.
But like, so next weekend as we get together, yeah, I'd play it again there, kind of thing. I'm gonna go with 8. I thought it was very fun.
Bobby.
I'm with Spencer. It's a 9. It was just a ton of dumb fun, and I like dumb fun.
Yeah, this is a 9 for me. I can get this to the table. I can play this with my in-laws. It's easy to teach. The barrier to entry is very low with this. And because everybody's getting jacked around,
Right.
it's fair. Because
yeah.
Why
Everybody's
did you
getting
hit
rammed.
me? Because you're about to hit me.
yeah. yeah. So yeah, it's a no. I knew like playing, I was like, well, this is a 9. Like when we were playing, even when I was getting my stuff blown up, and I'm like, oh no. I didn't care. I didn't care. No, it was so much
It goes
fun.
by so quickly.
It does. It did. It did.
So if you take all of our scores and we average them together, beep, boop, 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 8.8.
Yeah,
pretty
I feel
solid.
that I'm glad everybody had a good time with this. Again, when I started cracking this open and like reading the rules and stuff, and I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so sad if this is
If
this
it's bad.
isn't
I
good.
know. I saw the box sitting there. And I was like, I hope this is not just like relying on that. Oh, Mad Max. And
Mad
we're gonna be like,
Max
it's like
or
it's gonna be cheesy, but no,
Death
it was a
Race.
Do we
ton
owe
of
them
No.
fun.
money now?
Like I said, I literally try to buy a copy of it. So.
Yeah, no, this is my favorite Restoration Games game.
Yeah,
and I know
for sure.
Return to Dark Tower
Was good too,
Is,
but
is
this is-
great.
Restoration games.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
that's two
When I look at my first
out of the
Restorations
ballpark.
game that I have, and I look at this, I'm so disappointed in what I've got.
Yeah,
Fireball.
yeah,
that's 2 out of the ballpark. They're doing a good job.
Yeah, they're definitely
but they've definitely improved. Right?
improved. Yes,
Now they just got to
definitely
do
improved.
Chopper Strike.
Right? There
you go.
The world
Hey,
will be a better place.
They're starting.
That's literally a thing in Chopper Strike. If you end under a helicopter, it's bad. So they're halfway there.
And I'm really looking forward to Omega Virus.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
All right, guys. So if you made it this far through the video, please give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Like and subscribe. Ring the bell. You want to get notifications when new videos come
do.
out. This game is super hot right now, and it's only going to get hotter because we keep catching on fire.
And I want to say, because I don't remember if it's in the credits yet, because my memory's terrible. Thank you to all of our patrons. They're currently supporting
Yes.
us. You know, we don't shout you guys out very often because we don't have a
for you.
designated segment for that yet. So here it is for the first time. Thank you so much. It's insane how kind that is.
And
Join
we
it.
do have a Patreon. So if that is something you are able to do and you want to support the show in that way, feel free. We're happy to have you. Otherwise, just join our Discord. Comment on this video. Let us know if you play it. What was your experience? Does this game even appeal to you? If you've watched the video, like, oh no, this is too crazy. Like my family wouldn't like this.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, let us know. We enjoy the interaction and we try really hard to respond, right? Positive or negative. If you don't like something or we got something wrong, let us know. We're fine. We're human. We make plenty of mistakes.
What?
I know.
Oh.
It folds this way, Bob. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. For the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
Bob.
I got eaten by a sandworm.
Dan.
This was Thunder Road Vendetta.
Bye.